Hello, Rebel, and welcome back to my life. I'm happy for anybody who's here watching this, but this video today is for my kids. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Luke. Hi, Desmond. It's June 24th, 2022, and today the Supreme Court overturned a decision made decades ago called Roe v. Wade that constitutionally protected the right for a woman to have an abortion, for her to have control of her own body, and for anybody to have the right to privacy when it came to medical decisions. If you're watching this now, which I don't think you watch my YouTube videos, I'm not cool enough for you, or if you're watching it in the very near future, that's probably not going to mean very much to you. If you're watching this as an adult, you might have a better sense of what exactly that means. I want you to know that the world that I grew up in was by no means perfect, but that some things at least, were better, and that for a few years they've been getting worse. My mother had abortions, plural, before I was born, because she became pregnant and was not ready to have children. She told me this after I was an adult and after I would understand what that meant. If she was worried that if she told me when I was younger and a child, that I would think that I had been unwanted. And the truth was, as she told me, none of them had been unwanted, but that she just wasn't ready. She wasn't set up to have children yet. As a result, when I was born, I had an amazing, blessed life. My parents were just about the best parents I can imagine. I've never seen somebody and wished I had their parents. Mine were perfect. And they had me when they were ready. And they did that because my mother was able to decide for herself when she was ready to have me. When I was young and in school myself, I did not live with the fear of school shootings. It wasn't that they had never happened. The oldest school shootings are hundreds of years old. But over 100 years old, I should probably say. But they happened with muskets or with, I'm not a huge gun guy, you can probably tell, but with lever action rifles. Nobody could go into a school and kill many, many children in the space of a few minutes or an hour. The weaponry didn't exist. And when I grew up, the weaponry did exist, and there were laws preventing it from being sold to certain people. There were restrictions. It wasn't even a ban on everything. It was just restrictions, just some regulations. That's the world that I grew up in. That's not the world anymore. Those bans, those restrictions have been lifted, removed entirely, or eased. It's never been a perfect world. When I grew up and was a very young child, gay marriage was illegal. There were places in the country where being gay itself was criminalized and discrimination was terrible. The same is true for all queer identities. But I was a very young man when gay marriage was legalized. And that is now under threat. Explicitly spelled out in the Supreme Court decision was that the court should revisit same-sex marriage, should revisit things like the right to contraception. It wasn't a perfect world when I was growing up, but there were specific things that were better that have become worse recently, just in the last few years. I don't know how to fix that completely, and I don't think that anybody does. It's quite clear that the louder somebody says that they have the one perfect solution, the more likely it is that they are a grifter at best or outright insidiously malicious at worst. But I am hopeful that through many small actions, through many things that we can all do in our day-to-day lives to help other people specifically, and on a broader sense to affect societal change as a whole. Don, Luke, Desmond, I really hope that by the time you are an adult, or by the time you're my age, that we've managed to put together a world that looks more like it did when I was growing up, and even better. That we're able to take what's been broken in the last few years with a stunning rise of shockingly evil white supremacy and misogyny. And I hope that we are able to get rid of that. To get rid of the decisions and the things people do to make other people hurt and to make their lives worse. I'm hopeful that we can do that. I'm making this video so that if that does happen, and if you grow up in a better world than the one that we've got right now, and you're looking back, you remember what it was like right now. You remember how far we fell. And I hope that that fills you and other people with a sense of urgency not to get back to this place and to stay in the brighter place that you are now. I love you very much. For you and everyone else, I will see you next Friday. Bye.